Okay, welcome back to my lunch hour here at Hazelbrook Middle School in Tualatin, Oregon on the Witcher Math channel. Lots of pretty colors, hopefully to keep your attention. On the previous video, which you can see the sheet for right here, we learned about using number lines specifically as a strategy to document integer addition and subtraction. Today, we're using a different strategy, and it's integer tile drawings. Now, if you go to Home Depot or Lowe's or any hardware store, you might find things like this. If you look for them, they're called tile spacers. And they come in different colors. I've seen blue, white, and orange like that. And also, if you clip the little side things off, or the top and bottom things, they can just be straight lines like those. And so that's a great physical way to figure out what all these negative signs, positive signs, and integers mean when you're adding and subtracting them. Obviously, this one's positive, correct. What about this one? Yeah, negative. This is one positive and one negative. One positive and one negative. And as we learned last time, using a number line, you would go right one and left one, and you would land at 0, which defines what this is for us here. It's 0. When you see a matching pair of tile spacers or integer drawings, as we're going to do in this video, it's a 0. And if I have multiple zeros, like this, what do you think that makes? Yeah, it's still 0. I can add zeros all day long. And guess what? It still makes 0. Now, if you don't have these handy, but now you have this kind of visual locked in, I'll use them during this video, and you may or may not have them handy for yourself, but I recommend getting some. It's super fun. We can draw them very simply, and you can color code them if you want, but we're going to use that to represent a positive and this to represent a negative. So this is called a 0 pair. For obvious reasons, it's a pair of integers. They're opposites, so therefore they make a sum of 0. And if I have many 0 pairs, we're going to call that a neutral field. Picture it like a little field from the drone view up in the sky. And the overall value of that field is 0. Whether it's a pair or a whole field, the value of that is 0. So, just covering a few basics here, and then we'll do a few practice problems. What is the value of that? Right, positive 1. What is the value of that? Well, this is what? 0. And then what's left? So that has a value of negative 1 once we circle and eliminate that 0 pair. Let's do one more like this. What's the value of that? Right, negative 3. Now what is the value? Did it change? What did I add to it? I added a 0 and another 0. So since -3 plus 0 stays the same, it looks different, but the value, once the zeros are gone, is still -3. Good? Good. Let's practice a little bit here with a variety of different types of problems. These are just very simple to teach you a concept and a strategy. So please don't be insulted if they seem too easy for you. Or if you already know the answer, that's awesome. But let's practice this strategy. Okay. If you want, you can pause the video, copy those down, and try the strategy. Or you can just work along with me on this first batch, and then we'll do a second batch where I want you to pause the video and try it by yourself. Okay, so here I'm going to start with, I have 4 negatives and 3 positives. Going to pair them up. Ding dong, ding dong. And then 3 positives, working on pairing them up whenever possible. So I'm going to write what I have. I'm going to find the 0. And what value does this have? -1. So I can write this as an equation. -4 and +3 is -1. Just a strategy here. Here we go. 5 what? Positives and 2 negatives, making pairs at every opportunity, circling it to remind us that that's a 0, and then what's left is the value. So +5 and -2 has a value of 3. Good? Hope this strategy makes sense. And it's even more fun if, like, let's take this second one. Got 5 positives and 2 negatives. I take the zeros out of there, and there is the final value, 3. But we're making drawings today because we can do that in a video. Let's go 7 positives and this says we're going to remove or take away or subtract 2 negatives. So, but the problem here is there are no negatives. How can I take away something that's not there? Add zeros. Let's do that. So the value here is 7, right? Now what is the value? Yeah, it's still 7. And now what is the value? Yeah, it's still 7, because all I did was add zeros, right? But now look what is magically there. I have 2 negatives I can take away. I'm going to circle those and draw a little arrow showing that I just took away 2 negatives. And now what is the value? What's left after I take away the negatives? 9 positives, right? So write the equation. 7 positives. We took away 2 negatives after adding zeros to give us the negatives to remove. And our final value was +9. Yeah. Hey, we have room down here at the bottom. I'm going to make up 3 more. Let's do +2 take away a bigger positive. Try that one on for size. Let's do -4, and we're going to take away +2. And forgive me, but I'm going to go over here. Okay, if you want, pause it, work them out, show your work, use those pluses, minuses, come right back. Welcome back. Here we go. I have, oh, there's my song. That's our passing time music. Not sorry. Three positives. Take away 5 positives. I only have 3. And there's the bell. I don't have class right now. I have lunch. So we have 3 positives, and I need to take away or remove 5 positives. So I'm going to add zeros until I have enough to remove. I added 2 zeros, which gives me 5 positives. Now I can remove them. And what is my final value? -2. So I can write this as 3 minus 5. I started with 3, added zeros, removed 5, and the final value was -2. Very nice. This one, let's start. 4 negatives, and I want to remove 2 positives. I just use the parentheses there to emphasize that those 2 are going to be positive. So we're going to use the same strategy. I don't have any positives to remove. When that happens, add zeros until you can remove what you need to. I'm going to add 2 zeros. This still has a value of -4, but now I can remove +2. So -4 minus 2 is, what's my final value? Good, -6. And on this last one here, I've just got 5 of these and 6 of these. I just write down all of that stuff. When it's addition, you literally just write everything. Then I'm going to look for 0. Here's a big neutral field, 5 pairs of zeros. And what's the final value? +1. Okay, so when we're adding, you just draw everything or do everything with the tile spacers and come up with a final value. And that's it. We're always looking for zeros. We're looking to use zeros to give us things to subtract when it doesn't appear to be there in the first place. And speaking of, let's get out of here. That's a long video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on the Witcher Math channel. Thank you so much. Goodbye.